continue on to what I was just saying there. When you actually got like potatoes and so on and so forth, your meat and so on and so forth will have roughly a bit the same amount of value. It's just I find if you get like a cow farm or something like that, um, basically what it is, I will tell you this. I find the cow farms itself will basically be a little bit more of a setup because you can grow potatoes pretty quick, especially baked potatoes are really extremely great in this game. And when you actually mass produce them, you can actually mass produce them very quickly. Like, I mean, to me, it's one of the fastest growing vegetables to a point with the health values. Don't get me wrong here when it comes to that. So I'm looking at exactly what it is and what health values of each thing is and how much you can actually carry. Like, I mean, until you get like the cooked beef and everything else, like I say, with the fire aspect or just using a campfire, campfire is definitely a must to have to a point because I will tell you the reason why I say this because it doesn't require that much charcoal or coal because you get one piece or two pieces and that's all you need for the whole entire thing. You can actually start saving resources because when you've got resources itself, you'll be able to use them and utilize them as much as you can for trading with villagers. Now, when it comes to trading with villagers is great. I mean, to a certain extent. Like, I mean, you get a lot more from the villagers when it comes to that. Like, I mean, you can make bank with it. You can make levels with it very quickly, and so on and so forth. And now I'm looking for my third village. So let's see what we can get from there. Now, I don't know where the third one is because, like I said, I really don't know this map. But hopefully I can find it soon. So I can actually be able to start building um, basically a farm. And once I'm actually building this farm itself, I'll be able to continue on and be able to upgrade a couple things too. And I'll be able to have unlimited amount of iron and unlimited amount of food. So, like, I mean, that's just why I'm not carrying a lot of anything. I'm only carrying the beginning of the start of something. So, what I'm saying is here is I don't carry a lot of stuff with me playing this game just because I don't have to. I use very little resources. I basically try to make what I've got available and also look at what the villagers can give me at the very beginning. So I'm actually looking at exactly what I'm doing here and basically trying to construct from the third village. Now, the third village will give me a lot more resources, hopefully, and hopefully it gives me a pickaxe or something so I can actually be able to make a faster mine shaft. Now, the thing is, will the mine shaft help me? Yes, it will help me a little bit, but it won't help me a lot. Like, I mean, the funniest thing is, I love basically having cobblestone right at the very beginning. Reason being is, it'll basically give me that much more out of the game itself because I can actually, like I said, without having a cobblestone generator, which you don't need, which you can easily create one through redstone and so on and so forth. Or you don't even need redstone. You just basically put lava and water together and basically do it that way. Now, I could teach you how to do that in a later video. But right now, like I said, I'm just looking for that third village so I can be able to continue on and make something out of what I'm trying to do here. Trying to basically build on and keep on advancing. Now, I'm looking for, I don't need sugarcane. I need kelp. I only need one piece of kelp. There's a reason why I always go for kelp because kelp itself, I will tell you this, is, and I'll explain it the best way I can. It's one of the best sources, if not the best source, of fuel. just because it's stackable. It's not like lava, which you can do 100 blocks. Kelp can do 1,270 blocks to be exact, of basically burning. Once you actually get kelp farm and everything set up, and you've got like the furnaces going and everything else, it will help you big time. Like I mean, it does take a minute to set up. Don't get me wrong. But the only thing is the turn output is much higher. What I'm saying is when oh my God, was he a ship? Yes. Just wondering now if there's anything interesting in that ship. Because it's almost a complete ship, only for its sails. Now let me see. I'm looking, and I don't see anything around in this area that would be actually interesting, only for that ship. Uh, see, let me get closer to that ship. As I said, sometimes traveling the world, it does produce a lot more stuff. And producing more stuff is what you usually normally do in Minecraft. Anyway, you're always looking for something more than what you first started off with. So what I'm going to do right now is just go underneath, and I want to be able to find that treasure map, which is usually normally in here. Squeeze in there, and there it is. But now what am I going to give up? I'm going to give up, since I'm not going to be using 2 sets of armor, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to leave the pages, and I'm going to basically look around for that treasure eventually. Now, that treasure is usually available in roughly the same area that you find the treasure map in, but sometimes it's not. Like, I mean, I'm after finding it in cobblestone, I'm after finding it in different spots, and so on and so forth. So now I'm going to be looking at the treasure map, and it's actually a little bit off, which is weird. Okay, let me get over there, and let me just travel over to the other side. Let me see what I can do with that. Um, and see if I can actually find it, because sometimes you gotta rummage around a little bit into the sand or whatever the case may be to find the treasure. And of course, the harder the sea will help you to breathe underwater continuously, because you basically make a kind of whatever element in whatever case may be. You need some nautilus shells and so on and so forth. But see, the thing is, to me, making the heart of the sea and so on and so forth would be an end game type of thing, because that's when you get like enough construct and everything else into the game to basically to grab, like I said, resources and so on and so forth. So, like I mean, the heart of the sea is great to have almost right at the beginning, but is not necessarily useful right at the beginning because of what it is. Now, if you can find a basically a temple, or like I said, a desert temple or something like that, and you get some string. Well, basically, you can start getting your nautilus shells. You can start building that right away. The only thing is, like I said, it's just finding that treasure, which is basically usually hidden somewhere. Like I mean, sometimes it's right on the X. I found sometimes it's right on there, and sometimes it's just a little bit off from left or right of the X. So, like, I mean, you might be digging for a while. And this is why I recommend to try to grab some stone and stuff like that before you actually get there. Because the fact that if you got a chance of getting like cobblestone and stuff like so on and so forth, basically, and also make a chest. Reason being is if you got to remove a lot of stuff to find the treasure itself, the best thing is to have a chest, basically to make it so you can have, like I already got a small chest here, but I'm also going to make a double chest. Reason being is I want to be able to go along and be able to store more stuff in it, of course, and I'd be able to use and utilize that as much as I can. Because when I'm actually going out and looking for, like I said, the treasure and so on and so forth, I want to be able to be prepped for anything that's going to take me just a little bit of time. Now, the only thing is with that Now let me see how close I am. I'm not too far away, so I'm going to grab some cobblestone as I'm going. I'm going to grab a bunch of that. I need enough for about probably 4 or 5 pickaxes because just in case the treasure is not exactly on the X, I got to dig around. Or if I got to dig something that's a little deeper, and I'd be able to do that way without worrying about anything at all. So I'm going to be able to utilize that as much as I can, so I can be able to see if I can find that treasure. Because, like I said, that's just like I said, one of the hurdles to the sea, which I want. But like I told you before, or as I mentioned, not told, basically, I like to be able to grab different things at the very beginning of the game, so I'd be able to better myself in the long run. Now, the only thing is, as I said before, the herd of the sea is not good at the beginning because if you're moving and so on and so forth, and you're moving from place to place, you find that if you're looking for items, it's nice to be able to find the items. But the only thing is, if you got no use for them right away, sometimes that takes up extra inventory space. So if you're basically, since you're limited right at the beginning of the inventory space, and don't have enough space, like with a chest, whatever the case may be, chests will basically give you that much more leniency on your storage. Let me see. I'm going to place double chest here. I'm also going to leave them here because the thing is, I'm not traveling with a bunch of stuff. Now, too bad I don't have shoulder boxes. That would actually help quite a bit. Now, what I'm going to do here is make take my crafting table. I'm also going to place it here. So now I'm going to make up some sticks. I'm also going to make a couple of pickaxes. The rest of the supplies here, some of it I'm going to take. This food I don't need except the carrots and potatoes because that's for a later farm. So sugarcane, the pumpkins, flint I don't need right now because I do have flint and steels, but I'm only needing one of them. So I'm going to go through my inventory as much as I can. Polished granite I don't need right now. Diamonds and so on and so forth. A wooden axe. I can make stone axes, which is better again. At least since I've got the pickaxe now. So I'm going to get rid of this. There were golden protection. I already got iron, so I don't need that anymore. I'm looking at stuff I don't need right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make up some more pickaxes and be able to utilize that as much as I can. Now, I'm not going to use gold because gold is actually a trade resource for piglins and so on and so forth. So now I've got enough pickaxes, or I should have enough pickaxes to find that treasure. So let me see if I can find it. Now, I'm right on top of the X here. Now, it should be roughly about here. So let me see. I'm going to dig straight down. Even though it tells you not to dig straight down, but no, I never understand why that. But let me see here. I don't see nothing yet. There's no treasure box. Just kind of weird. I'm gonna have to go down a little bit deeper. Hopefully, don't have to go down too deep. It's easier for me to go back up though, because that's why I say I'll dig out this way. Since the X is here, I usually go around and the outside like this to see if I can find it. Like, as I told you before, sometimes it's right on the spot, sometimes it's not. And that's something I notice myself when it comes to, like I say, treasure hunting and stuff like that in Minecraft. Because it can kind of it can put you in a loop, just because of that reason. Now, when I'm actually doing it this way, I'm actually covering more space. So anyway, regardless of that, I'm looking at going straight down right where the center of this axis is pretty much still the center. And like I said, if it's too deep, I don't bother. I usually look for something else that's a little bit easier to get. So I'm going to start cutting this out a little bit. And as you notice, like I said, I don't run out of space either. Like, I mean, to a certain extent, because I've got most of all my stuff. Like, I mean, the stuff that I'm not going to use back up in the chest. So it does save me a lot of room. at the very beginning. So I don't see anything here. So I'm going to fill myself in with dirt. And I'm also going to record this location. I'm also going to keep the map. The way I record the location is by taking a screenshot and be able to use that as for later on references. So if I decide to come back to here, I'll be able to utilize that or utilize this spot later on. Right now, I'm not going to worry about it as much, so I'm going to use some diorite. Normally, another thing you can actually do as well, if you don't find it right away or you need a little bit more time to look for it, I'd rather find a village net first. That's just me. But if I find exactly what I'm looking for, now I'm going to use this cobblestone, and what I'm going to do is go straight up to the top, and what I'm going to do is plot a marker. So a marker is usually a T, something like that. So I'm not coming back to here for a bit, but now I can use this cobblestone for making more pickaxes. So I'm replacing exactly what I have. Now I'm not going to travel with these chests because I don't need the stuff at all because I already got my own stuff. So what I'm going to do is just basically keep on traveling until I find a village. So I'm going to go back, not to the treasure map, but to this map, which is absolutely useless to me now because I'm away, but I could still use it as a reference. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I keep every single map, usually locator maps and so on and so forth, get some redstone. Redstone, like I said, if you find like a jungle temple, which is a little tiny kind of gray building, usually they got redstone into it. If you do find that, try to actually make a map for that area because you don't know what's in that area. You don't know what the land mass is, whatever the case may be in most cases, and you don't know what you're missing. And this is something I would suggest to somebody that's actually playing, just because, like I said, this suggestion itself may or may not save you time, but at least you'll be able to get your locations and so on and so forth of your new area. So, it's just something that I like doing if I can find one. But if I don't, well, you can always mine and make up a brand new map for that new area. So you can look at it when you first start it. If you start off with a map, some people do and some people don't. But if you started off with a map and look at your locations, then you'd be able to basically look at your two locations where you came from, where you first started, and where you advanced. So basically, you can keep on traveling through the maps, and then you'll be like, okay, I missed this area in the first map. I want to go back and explore it. And basically, you can always go back, and no matter how many blocks away you are actually at that map, you'll be able to go back and explore it once again, and know exactly where you left off. Now, you don't need a map for every single area. But the only thing is, when you actually look at every single area that you're to and what you can actually advance to, that actually works quite well. I love doing it that way for resources because, like I said, sometimes, like I said, if you don't have anybody else on the very first map, you'd be able to go back to the first map and be able to collect that resource. So, just like I said, you'll always leave resources behind. Diamonds, whatever the case may be. You'll leave sunken ships and different things. It's always going to happen. To that point. In the resources that can leave behind will be, like I said, sometimes only minor. Sometimes you'll find better as you go. I'm also going to take a piece of bamboo here because of the fact that I'm going to need bamboo for later on. I'll tell you exactly what bamboo actually is good for. It's good for making sticks. So it stays on trees. Stays you basically growing a bunch of trees. And also you'll be able to use and utilize you can use it as a fuel source too. But it's a very poor fuel source because it doesn't last long. Usually you get like a half a block for one stick. It's not feasible for that. But I find that jungle trees and so on and so forth is great for decoration. Number one. Number two, like I said, the vines. If you've got like a set of shears, you can actually take the vines and use them as a decoration as well, or you can use them as like stepping ladders and so on and so forth. But you can, like I said, you can use it as both at the same time, which is great. Now, what I'm looking for here is trying to get a little bit of this tree because I want to be able to start a cocoa farm. I already got the cocoa seeds or cocoa beans, but I don't have the tree to actually make them grow. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually swap this out, leave a little bit of this oak plank just for a moment, and I'm also going to try to get a sapling. So I'm not too much worried about ruining this tree as of such, just because of the fact that I'm only looking for one sapling. And once I'm actually situated into my new base, my first base, and I don't need this shroom. I need to be able to plant this and something. She can't eat it. Let me see. What am I going to do here with this shroom? Hmm. I can normally plant it in going around under trees. As long as it's got a shadow. Let me see if I can plant it under this. Nope, it's not going to allow me. Desert? Nope. I don't mind losing a shroom because, like I said, you can use shrooms to grow more shrooms. Okay, what am I looking for here? Apples. Well, actually, I'll just get rid of the apples because the apples are easy to get. Golden apples and everything else is a little bit different story, but okay, let me see if I can get a sampling here. I don't see anything interesting in that. Sampling, please. Okay, did I get one? Yes, I got three of them. Perfect. Only need one. So now I'm going to go over to here at this abandoned portal, and I'm going to see exactly what's in here. Hopefully there's something goody, and I can actually use, well, the sliced melons, there's some iron ingots. Now I can trade off acacia planks for this iron, and that's what I'm thinking of doing. But you gotta remember, I need 12 obsidian to make a portal. There's three on the top, three on the bottom, without using the corners. Usually I use wood for the corners because it saves myself a lot of time. So now I've got seven. So I need another few, and need another five to be exact. Glistening watermelons. I don't need them for anything at all. There's a gold block there. I'm going to leave because I don't have the storage. So I'm going to go over and still looking for that one village. I'm still looking for that third village and see what I can come up with. Now, okay, I've got jungle, I've got oak, do believe. Only two trees I don't have. Well, to me, I don't have acacia because I don't like the color of it unless you got a mod pack running or something that changed the look of it. And like the jungle is actually really good for decoration and other things. And I like basically using different things in the game itself, like for when I'm actually going to go to build something. Like most cases, I'll go along and, like I said, if I'm building a village farm, just because of the it doesn't burn, and like I said, it has quite a bit more durability. If I'm not using obsidian, I like to use deep slate, or I'll use this cobblestone itself. And that is basically because of the life longevity of the stone itself. That's exactly what I normally build with. If I'm, like I said, making a village farm or anything like that, that needs to be protected. And like I said, I know lightning can basically cause wood to burn. I know, it also can cause wool to burn, and that's why I don't like using it at all. Um, it's just one of those things. Now, the colorations of it would be great. If you're looking for something that's deep black or anything like that. Coal is also deep black, but depends on, like I said, what pack you're using and so on and so forth. Sometimes the deep black looks a little bit grayish. So, like, I mean, this is basically using no packs, whatever the case may be. But like I said, you'll get used to it as you're playing this game, of course, and what each thing actually looks like. Like, at least if you're new to the game itself. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm almost pretty much a veteran to this game. Yes, there's a couple of things, a couple of changes that I'm still getting used to because every time they actually come up with a new update, they change the way like Redstone actually operates, or they might change a certain way, like say a farm would actually do, or the way a farm operates. Like if you're doing like an auto farm, sometimes a lot of the old auto farms doesn't work anymore because the way the redstone or the electric system is just what redstone is works, and sometimes they'll actually change it that much more. So, like I said, if basically if you're building something with redstone and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, it doesn't work, and you're basically following, like I said, all the old builds. Like I mean, each patch that comes out, like I mean, I usually like building. If I'm going to build something out of redstone, I usually go for two updates. Within two updates, it's not a really good change in most cases. Like, I mean, they might change what a little tiny bit of an auto farm does, or like what he did with Dark Oak. See, Dark Oak used to be able to just plant one tree. Now they got to change to where you got to plant four now. I do not know why they did that, but the last update or two, that's exactly what they did with it. And I was like trying to figure out exactly what to be doing with that because I was trying to. Last stream, I was with another person, and I turned around and said, "Okay, what do I do with this? Like, I mean, it's not growing. Like, I mean, I used a lot of bone meal and stuff like that. It's not that I did not know about what was going on. I didn't know what in the heck the update was, what how they changed it, and like I said, it made it a little bit more confusing because of that reason. It was like scratching my head and saying, "What do I do with this to make it work?" So basically, doing some research and so on and so forth, I finally found exactly what they did with the update. But like I said, that was only a minor update. But imagine if you had to go along and use that tree for something else, and it was actually a needed coloration or needed plank, anything or any type of wood like that. This wasn't like that before, but why is it like that now? And that's exactly what Minecraft does from time to time. They'll basically give you a little tiny bit of a loop, and when he gives you a little tiny bit of loop, it's nice to be able to actually have the information right out in front of you, but sometimes that information is not right out in front of you. What I'm saying is, if it's not right out in front of you, you got to be able to make it work right for yourself. Then you want to be able to do it that way and look at exactly all the patch notes and so on and so forth. But see, a lot of people just don't read the patch notes because, like I said, they'd be like, "Oh, I'll just download it and hopefully it works." But what was the changes? Was it minor or was it major? Like with the Dark Oak, that was only a minor thing, but it cost me a lot of basically bone meal just to see if it's going to work or not. Like, I mean, I went through almost two stacks of bone meal and it didn't work. And I was like, try one tree, three trees. And like I said, just find out it was four. So it's just little tiny things like, oh my God. Ooh, I don't want to fall down there. But there's a ways of getting down there. Like I said, I wish I had an iron bucket right now. I could do a lot of exploring. I might be actually passing up on like the deep dark and so on and so forth. But see, as I said before, I'm not geared for anything right now. I'm just exploring for the third village. If I can find a third village in that vicinity, and I don't care if it's a desert, I don't care if it's a frozen tundra. I really don't care where it's to, as long as it actually has something for me to use and utilize at the beginning. As you see, I'm not too far away from spawn either, but I mean, I've been only playing 2 days. Oh well, Minecraft days, and I'm not doing too bad with it. It's just that I want to be able to find another village that'll give me some more iron or give me some type of resource that will actually help me in the long run. Like, I mean, yes, it's a bit time consuming, but once you're finished, like I said, you'll have some tools to start off with. like I said, when it comes to that, like I mean, it doesn't matter if you want to start off with the first village, you can go right ahead and basically build that into that, and that's exactly the way I look at it. I don't like starting off with the very first village because I know the ramifications and what other stuff you can get. Because eventually you'll end up exploring anyway. Like, I mean, you'll be exploring this place or that place. You'd be able to actually go along and do what you need in that direction. Now, the only thing is, looking at what I'm actually hitting now, let me see here, is hopefully I can find a village. Usually, a village is not too far away from here normally. I'm actually looking at this, the way it's laid out, but now I might be wrong. Because sometimes, like I said, when you look at a map, like I mean, here, you got like lakes and so on and so forth, but sometimes you get a village, like almost smack dab in the middle. Hopefully I can find one. Because that would be my third village that I've spotted since I was at the abandoned village. As I said, I don't count an abandoned village as anything, just because. And that is an underground temple, I think. Something, or underwater temple. I can see. Uh, no, no, no. That's not a temple. This is another ruin. All right. That's quite interesting. Now, like I said, I usually like traveling because it takes time out from the game itself. Like I said, I got a clock. If I'm gonna go mining, if you've got a picture frame or an item frame, picture frame, item frame, it's pretty much the same. The thing is, if you got an item frame, you can place it on the wall, place your clock there. So instead of basically trying to take a guess when you're mining from day to night, you'll be able to use that and utilize that as much as you can as well. So you'll be able to go along and take that itself and be able to use that as much as you can. Because, like I said, if you're underground, it's really easy to lose track of time. And I will say that. I'm gonna have to do it myself. Like I mean, I'll come up and there's a pitch black, and I've got like a bunch of things flying around my head and everything else, and not, you know. Um, Basically, you can actually avoid that 100%, which is not hard to do. Now I'm looking for that third village. If I can find it. Now, hmm, I see a lava source over there, but I don't see nothing else right now, which is kind of weird. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on traveling just a little bit more, and I'm going to get on top of a tree. I'm going to have a look around in this area. There's a desert over there. There's a potential of a village over in that corner right there. But oh no 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 no! It is the other village. Yep. All right. Sweet. Ah, nice. I didn't even know I was that close to a village. Yum. But it's on top of a hill. That's why I couldn't see it. Let me see if there's a blacksmith so I can get some better armors and so on and so forth. But like I said, I know different ways of playing this game. Like I mean, I like doing it this way because I can explore. I can get some materials. I can get everything that I'm gonna need at the very beginning. Like I said, sometimes it saves you time. Sometimes it doesn't. Now, if I utilize this village, what does this village got to offer? Okay, we got some we got some beta carotene, we got some potato bean. All right, let me see. I've got a potato here, so I don't need that as much. So I'll be utilizing this one, but I got to get around on the other side because there's no way of getting up on the other side unless I've got the blocks, which I do have the blocks for it. I can also make a stairwell, but I'm gonna go right around the back of this. The back will be there. There's a couple of buildings that's on the bottom there I want to be able to explore as well. Now, let me see here. All right, some cobblestone. Nice. Wow. Got a church. That's got one brewing stand there. Okay, see if this one's got a library, because a library would help a lot. So I can use some of the books at the very beginning, so when I'm going to trade with the villagers, I had some books. So it'll help me trade quite a bit faster. Especially, like I said, if I need bending or whatever the case may be. Now, while looking at this village, there's not much here. No, not really. They got a bell. They got everything else. But let me see. Oh, it's got a barrel. Do I need a barrel for anything? Well, I need it for the fishery. But let me see. Nope. Don't want that. Ooh, this one's got a chest. Some bread. Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, I'd rather have these than that because I can use the bales. There's loads of bales there, so I can actually make more bread and other things. So let me see what else is in here. There is that. There's a double bed here. Oh, there's 4 beds. Nice. Okay, we've got an emerald. We got some potatoes. Potatoes from the edges. We could get rid of this piece of bread and get that emerald. There we go. It's not too bad. Well, I can always utilize this place. But I gotta basically level the ground. And not this ground because it's too hilly. And but I'm looking for a place where I can actually utilize that as well. Anyway, guys, like I said, if you like the video so far, like I said, you can always hit that subscribe button. Like I said, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to basically call it a day. Hopefully you have a good one and basically play safe and do whatever you're going to be doing. And hopefully catch you in the next one. Peace out, guys.